Come, come, ye saints, no toil nor labor fear, but with joy wend your way.
The 2011 Salt Lake City Mormon Stories Conference was brought to you by the Salt Lake City Mormon Stories support community found on Facebook, and also by the Open Stories Foundation and by the generous support of you, our listeners. To join or start a Mormon Stories support community in your area, please go to mormonstories.org and click on the Support Communities tab. To host a regional conference in your city, like this one, please email us at mormonstories@gmail.com for more information on how to host a conference. Finally, to keep this podcast and all of these communities and projects alive, please donate today at mormonstories.org. Oh, and please enjoy the conference.
If you guys want to learn more about Sunstone, they're here, and please go talk to them. Also, for those of you who live anywhere, really, I wanted to make sure you understood how to join the Mormon Stories local support communities, because our goal is to take these conferences to Provo, to Atlanta, to Seattle, wherever people have a need. We could do it multiple times each year in Salt Lake City. So you go to the mormonstories.org website. There's a little link that says support communities up at the top. You click on it, you find your city, click it, and it'll take you to Facebook, and then you just join the community and someone approves it, and then you're on it. That's how you'd find out about lunches and play groups and book clubs and all the different things people are doing. If there isn't one in your geography, tell me. We'll create it in about 3 minutes, and you can be the leader of it. You can be your own bishop and stake president of your local non-church congregation. Is there anything I've forgotten? Any announcements? Okay, Bengt Washburn was kind enough to come on the podcast. He's brilliant, he's funny. We told him to keep it at a PG-13 level. I'm hoping that he will. I've never been in a church service where lots of swear words were done, but Bengt, we love you and we want you to do your duty. So come do it. Bengt Washburn, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I am very glad to be here. It's like I don't have to explain stuff. Normally, I travel around the country, and a lot of times I do talk about growing up Mormon and all those things, and I have to provide all this background, but here you already know that it's kind of weird. You kind of know that. So a lot of those jokes won't work. I guess I'll start out, I'll just talk. When I do stand-up comedy, I usually end up just talking anymore because I don't have time to really work at it and get good with the show anymore. But no, I'll try. It should work. First, right off, they said a Mormon comedian. I don't know. You know, I'm one of those confused guys about that. I was very devout for the first 26 years of my life, and then after that, I don't know. I started to have doubts. I think we all do. But I really had doubts. Some of the rules, I questioned some of the rules. I think the first rules we question are the rules we want to break. You know, like I used to believe in abstinence, but then I met a woman who would actually have sex with me. And the doubts creep in. Are you guys, you're with me, you understand that. So it's been about 20 years. I'm inactive, I guess, you would say, very much so. My wife's not Mormon. She's an Irish Catholic. She's a practicing Irish Catholic. I mean, every weekend, drunk. In fact, when I met her, she had a beer in one hand and a cigarette in the other. She was breaking 2 Mormon rules at the same time, one with each hand. Ambidextrous sinner. And, of course, the Mormon in my head looked at that and thought, this is hot. Because it's wrong. So we hit it off. So well, she quit smoking for me. Second date. I was just looking for a good reason to quit. So then we got married, which was apparently a good reason to start back up again. And but then she did quit again. And to her credit, she has been quitting ever since. She's kind of a rebel. That's what she says. I was a rebel. We would drink all the time. Well, you're not a rebel. You're Irish Catholic. When you drink, that's not rebelling. That's conforming. Said, how can it be rebellion when everybody's doing it? She says, well, but we were underage. Then you're an early conformist. Right? My dad told us not to. He was drunk when he told you not to drink. That's Wisconsin. I don't know if you've been there, but it's bars full of drunk parents complaining about their kids drinking. So you come home Friday drunk again. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I know what you're going to do with him. Drink. That's what you're going to do. But I told her, I'm the rebel. I'm the one. I'll drink coffee. I'll have coffee. And I'll never forget when my mom first found out that I was drinking coffee. She says, oh, Bengt, when did you start using coffee? She said, using, where did you score? And I remember the whole conversation. Mom, it's not really a drug. Yes, it is. You drink coffee, then you'll probably have a beer, and then a cigarette. What's to stop you? It's that coffee is the Mormon gateway drug. I was there about 2 weeks, and then it hit me, I was sneaking out every morning, like 6 in the morning, out to buy a cup of coffee in secret with money I had swiped off her dresser. So I might have a drug problem. I don't know why I started doubting. There's things I love about my religion, and I miss it. I had a much stronger faith. I miss that part. I miss knowing everything. It was awesome. I knew everything. The pre-existence, think about that. That's before time. I knew that stuff. I knew about that. I knew why I was here. I knew where I would go after I die. That's everything. That's everything. That's the whole kit and caboodle. I knew everything. Now I really don't know anything. I don't know the pre-existence for sure. I don't know why I'm here for sure. I don't know where I'm going after I die. I don't know where I go next week for sure, actually. I don't even know how I'm going to turn this, what I'm saying, into a bit. I know nothing. Some of this I do love. There's many things about my religion. And the pre-existence, I actually kind of like that idea. I always liked that. But I always wondered what it would be like. I mean, if you're there, and did we have a face in the pre-existence? What did we look like? And did we know we were going to look? Did I know I was going to look like this? Is my question. Did we get a briefing packet with a photo? And we're looking through, where are you going to be born, what language, your IQ. Gee, that seems a little low. And then the picture would be the bummer. You'd see yours, you'd see the guy next to you, you go, what? This is kind of bullshit. What's he? Do we have any questions? All the ugly people's hands shoot up. I got a question. Why do I look like this and he looks like that? Well, there must needs be opposition in all things. So I'm here to make him look good? That's what I said. That's going to be depressing. Well, just look at him. Holy cow. He's going to be born like that? Born? That's not an accident? It comes out like that. That's one of the things that right away just makes it, life's not fair, and it starts to it gives you doubts. Just that does for me. Really, really beautiful people and really ugly people just maybe, this is not right. It's not fair. The world, there's lots of good things about it. There's some of the things about in the religion they shouldn't have told me. Like they shouldn't have told me that hell isn't forever in Mormonism. You don't go to hell forever. It's just you do some bad things and then they notch you up a few years. You get like a sentence. And that's the problem. You have a beer and you think, well, I've already probably got 20 years. What's another beer? And then pretty soon you start running up a tab. I'm going to die. I'm going to look at the tab and go, oh, I did all that shit. I mean, shoot. I'm going to be here a while. I like that idea that it's not forever. There's questions that you always have about faith, and you work them out. And some of the things about Mormonism, I answer it really well. I remember I have friends that say, well, Bengt, I remember telling them this, in Mormonism, you really believe that after we die, all of us, all humans, since we made a choice in the pre-existence to follow God, we're all kind of basically pretty good, and we get rewarded for, putting ourselves on the line like that. We go to a better place. That's what I was always taught. Everybody goes to a place much better than earth. And I had friends tell me, well, then why doesn't God just tell us that? Why doesn't just, it take off some of the edge of life if you knew it's going to be better? And I said, because we would kill ourselves. And we would. If you knew that in the next life it was better, if suicide was the equivalent of like hitting the reset button on your Nintendo, everybody would do that. Would they not? Because life's hard. God would be running into people early all the time. Mary, what are you doing here? Well, I burned the roast. Life's hard. Can't remember what else I was going to tell you, the ideas I have. Sometimes I'll have belief. I think in the Bible, Bible times it had to be easier. If those stories are literal in the Bible, it would be so easy to believe. Come on. That'd be easy. I'm not sure if there's a God, and someone came over and raised your uncle from the dead. Okay, that was okay. So easy to believe. Was it Elisha, stuck his hand out and flames shot out of his hands, and he burned a whole mountainside of people? I thought, that's amazing. I would believe. Okay, if a guy came through the back door in a bathrobe and flip-flops, told you to shape up, and then I would give that guy 10% of my stuff. No questions asked. But sometimes it's hard to believe. I don't know. Some weird things will make me question things. I was thinking this the other day, just intelligent design. Sometimes I'll think it makes sense, and then you see things that just don't seem intelligent. This right now, what I'm doing here, this one hole, the same hole. I use the same hole to breathe, eat, and talk. Are you crazy? Surely there was someone up there in the room. Are you sure that's safe? And then they went ahead with the design, and the first time someone choked to death, that guy's like, what do you know? Food in the windpipe. Nobody listens to me. I still love my religion. I guess I call it my religion, even though I suck at it. I think one of the things that happens is I've known some people, they will stop when they stop going to church, they stop going because they know something. And I stopped going because I didn't know anything. That's it. Hi, how are you? You're cute. I have a little tiny baby right now. I have a 5-month-old baby, which, when I tell people I have a 5-month-old, I get exactly that reaction. It was different. With my first child, it was like, congratulations. And now when I say, I've got a baby, people are like, oh, you're 46, aren't you? What were you thinking? I was thinking this will be fun to try. Because I'm a guy. All right. Another one. We are in Utah. All right. Know how to add. So anyway, we'll move on now to more stuff about growing up Mormon. I think where are we? I better tab, or I could get in trouble at the comedy club. Oh, sweet, we got 15 minutes. All right, I can go into all this stuff about the first time I left home. When I grew up, of course, it was all there. I loved it all. I loved everything about it. I believed it. I followed it as best I could. When I turned 19, they gave me the suit and the 10-speed bike. And I went to Seattle, and I knocked on strangers' doors, like many of you, right? And I talked to strangers about religion on their doorstep. And that's when I learned that when you knock on a stranger's door, anything's a better icebreaker than religion. And I think that's because religion brings up everything. That's sex and politics, all in one big everything. I remember not understanding. I think, why don't they understand that we got something awesome? I didn't understand that you're 19 saying, hey, everything you've been doing is wrong. Come with me. I didn't understand how difficult it was. But anything's a better icebreaker than anything, sex or politics. Or would you look at my rash? It's a better icebreaker. Sure, come on in. What the heck was? For a second there, we thought you boys were Mormons. That is when I learned that growing up Mormon's kind of weird to the world. I didn't think it was weird. Growing up in Utah, Mapleton, Utah, we thought Catholics were weird. Isn't that? No, they're not, actually. Mathematically, they're quite normal. But I found out we were the weird ones. I learned that because only weirdos would let us in. And that's a clue. When like the really weird trailer park carny workers, come on in, we're weird too, woohoo! So I found out we were weird. I think all religions are weird. When they get exposed to logic, they can become very weird. Any religion. You just don't know it because it's your religion. Now, I didn't know it was weird in Mapleton, Utah, because everybody was Mormon. That's the thing. Everybody. Right? Everybody thought coffee was evil, so that didn't strike me as weird at all. Because everybody thought, right? And when everybody's doing something, it's not weird. It's normal. One person doing something weird, yeah. A group of people doing something weird, that's normal. One person doing something weird, that's a nut. A group of people doing something weird, that's a church. And I butchered that joke, but but it's true. And I think that's one of the good things about church. You get to check in with other people who believe weird things like you. You know what I mean? So you can reaffirm your faith. That's why you need to go, part of it anyway. Because during the week, when you tell people coffee's evil, you get a look on it like, huh? And you start to question. You're only human, right? And then after a week of that, you need to go back to a church and say, okay, so everybody, coffee's evil, right? Okay, no, I'm on the same page with you. It's just during the week, that seemed pretty crazy. But all right, I'm back. We're together. The word of wisdom, which has some good things in it. People get carried away with it, though. Like, I had this little thing about coffee, and I got some angry people. I got an angry woman. Well, this is coffee. She posts all this scientific, how bad coffee is for you, and how this revelation had saved the saints. And I said, well, if the coffee evil information was about health, why didn't God just tell the saints about germ theory? Because that would have saved a lot more people back in the 1800s, you know. Wouldn't that be better advice for your health? You know what? Just wash your hands, you idiots. I don't understand. He's sick. We lost the baby. We didn't have any coffee in the delivery room. Nobody was drunk. There's no germ theory in the word of wisdom. The word of wisdom makes a lot of sense, though, when you couple that with polygamy. Yeah, if you're going to have multiple wives, you shouldn't have alcohol anywhere. Polygamy is one of the embarrassing things, of course, as a missionary, that you weren't supposed to talk about. That's the one we just don't talk about. But I remember being young, thinking, oh, I'll explain it to them. I got the answer. Polygamy is how we survived. I remember telling people, that's how we survived. In the beginning, we were very small. It was tough. That's how we managed to spread and grow and survive, so that now we can spread the truth to the four corners of the earth. And I remember my companion, hey, that's creepy. That's creepy. And it is. It makes it sound like polygamy is part of our two-prong attack on the earth. That's right? First, we try to tell you the truth. That doesn't work. Well, we'll just screw our way to the top. Is that too much? Why not? The Catholics did it. It's very effective. Testaments found I was weird. Seattle, Washington, when I was 19 years old. Of course, I was also not just weird as a Mormon, I was weird in Mormonism. I was like double weird. So when you're in trouble. When your name is weird in Utah, that's weird. Yeah, the normal people wouldn't let us in, ever. Anybody have that? The normal in Seattle. They're nice, normal houses, like the lawns all manicured. If they had a lawn, you weren't getting in. They have like a walkway. Up there is always these winding walkways with little flowers winding all the way up to the door. Because it's not about getting to the door, it's about the journey. You finally get up to the door, there's a welcome mat. Yeah, bull crap. Welcome? Right, yeah, we're not welcome. It's a lie. You went to Walmart and you bought a lie. Because we're not getting in. You're not letting us in. You're not even coming to the door. They would not even come. We knew they were in there. We know you're in there. You know, we're not blind. We can see you. That your window is transparent. Do you ever have that? You see, like the guy. I remember seeing this the back of a bald head in a recliner, and we could hear him too. They don't know you can hear him. Are they gone yet? Are they still out? Can you see them? I can't see them without giving up my position. Call the neighbors, see if they can see them. They're not answering. Well, they're still hiding too. That's what's happening. These dickheads have the whole neighborhood in lockdown. Sure hope the pizza doesn't come while they're out there. So we knocked, as any of you, they don't knock doors so much anymore. All my family, very devout, all their kids are going on missions, they don't do that so much. But we always knock doors, hours every day knocking doors. And then one day it happens, right? After months, you get the knock and there's a, hi, we're representatives of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This is my companion, Elder Reese, and we're here with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day. Or we're Mormons, and we're just wondering when you're going to slam the door in our face. Sorry, this is kind of awkward. We've never gotten this far before. We didn't even bring the flip charts. Like heavy, they're heavy. And the guy let you in. You remember the first time you get in, and at first it's like, yes, I'm in. And then it kind of hit you like, wait a second. What kind of a freak are you? We're not, nobody lets us in. Like scanning the living room for a pile of like polyester suits. Or if I see bicycle parts, I am going to evacuate my colon. All right. So the question, are you a Mormon? It's a baffling question. I don't know. I'm not very good, I guess. I don't know. I've had some friends in other religions say, you should switch, man. You should just do, we're this, we're that. You can do anything in our church, anything. You'll be, but I can't do that because I still have that faith there. You know, I'd rather believe that I'm going to hell than not believe anything. You know what I mean? I prefer that because I need my faith, especially when I go to hell. I'm really going to need my faith down there. I'm going to need to believe that it's not going to last forever. Plus, there's a lot of great things in Mormonism to believe. There's one I love. We're like one of the few where you actually get to keep the fun things in the next place. Nobody else. Everybody else, you check it at the door. Nope, give me that. You're not going to be using that. You know what I mean? But in ours, it's like, no, if you're good, you get to keep that. If you're not, you don't, which makes our judgment very pressure. A lot of pressure at our judgment. You are sweating like, please. But you get to, you know, to be able to have sex, well, with your spouse, but still. Awesome. So I guess I'm Mormon, I guess, pretty much. I guess it's always in there. I don't know. I learned this when I had a near-death experience. It almost killed me. It's awesome. It was an earthquake. Now, I've survived many earthquakes in my world travels. A big one in India, 20,000 people died. I survived because I was standing in a doorway in Seattle. And that's the key to survival, distance from the epicenter. But this earthquake, I was at the epicenter, Olympia, Washington. I was in a coffee shop. All of a sudden, everything was shaking. Things flying all over the place. And I'm like, wow, this coffee works. Now, the rule of the earthquake is stand in the door. Do I do that? No, I run through the door out into the street so I can take a brick in the head. Why? Because I grew up Mormon. I cannot die in a coffee shop. You guys have been great. Thanks so much for having me here. I better get off to Wise Guys. And we'll start a Stuttgart Mormon Stories group.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you for joining us today on Mormon Stories. Music today was provided by the Saber Rattlers. Check them out at saber-rattlers.com. The Mormon Stories logo was generously donated by StudioCase.com. Thanks for listening.
Come, come, ye saints, no toil nor labor fear, but with joy wend your way. Though hard to you this journey may appear, grace shall be as your day. 'Tis better far for us to strive our useless cares from us to drive to the sand, Joe. Your hearts will swell